Bullish AMP cost forecasts range somewhere in the range of $0.022515 and $0.042528 by 2030. Market examiners accept AMP could reach $0.017512 by 2025. Bearish AMP market cost expectation for 2023 is $0.004003. AMP presentation. Clients have become used to paying immediately and the independence from worry over security while making buys. This is somewhat more trying for blockchains. Notwithstanding, AMP is utilizing collateralization through its AMP token to ensure that network clients will not need to pick either speed and security. Despite the fact that the security token was just presented toward the finish of 2020, it has gained extraordinary headway. The organization is as of now being utilized by more than 40,000 areas, and its digital currency is beginning to get some forward momentum. Might we at any point conjecture the cost of AMPs? And is the token a method for installment later on? What is AMP? In the space of cryptography, there is banter about whether to put security or speed first. To guarantee the well-being of each and every exchange, security is required. However, speed is fundamental for the broad reception of a blockchain. Collateralization is AMP's solution to this issue. Clients can wager digital currency with every exchange to guarantee that it will finish. The maker of Fleexa organization, Tyler Spalding, additionally established AMP. It is developed on the Fleexa organization and records two main roles. While people can involve AMP for secure and prompt exchanges from their own resources, consolidating Fleexa with AMP is workable for vendors to ensure that installments are paid continuously. The interest for a powerful and complete stage will increment as blockchain client bases keep on growing. Financial backers are starting to see the value in AMP's clever thought. AMP Specialized Examination. Specialized examination demonstrates that since its send-off, the AMP cost has moved generally high and low. The coin's process started at $0.0095 and as per verifiable records, it kept up with this cost for a considerable length of time. Afterward, it showed a sudden increment and crossed $0.039. It then, at that point, continued with moderate exchanging after that. AMP arrived at a record high of $0.1211. Nonetheless, following that, the coin had a precarious decay and retested around $0.039. AMP Crucial Examination. AMP's white paper contends that it fills in as a mechanism for gathering esteem, while matching the motivations, everything being equal in disseminated tokenized monetary organizations. This is finished by joining a non-inflationary motivator dissemination with positive input circles of rising spending capacity. Fundamental financial models are created to show that AMP proceeds as low instability security, with its worth becoming simply because of the utility it offers. By empowering decentralized proprietorship and cooperation in monetary organizations, applications based on AMP can become significant degrees more expense productive than existing frameworks, and assist with disposing of the staggering extra weight loss of conventional social and financial designs for monetary exchanges. The record proceeds. AMP Current cost. For AMP, there are clashing expectations from investigators, with some expecting accomplishment, while others anticipating approaching destruction. In one view, AMP is portrayed as a poor venture by wallet investor who accepts it will drop most of its worth over the long haul. AMP is at present worth $0.005003 United States dollars. AMP has moved 2.47% as of now, with an exchanging volume of $9,054,495. AMP is at present position 163 among all cryptographic forms of money, with a market capitalization of $206,936,523 United States dollars. Using the general strength record, RSI, moving weighted normal, MWA, Williams fractal, and moving normal union disparity, MACD, from the outline above, we can decide cost designs for AMP. To conclude, whether having a bullish or negative year is going. Our cost expectation figures utilize constant AMP market information, and all information is refreshed live on our site. This permits us to give dynamic cost forecasts in view of current market movement. AMP Value Expectation 2023. AMP, from certain perspectives, is one of the most astounding digital currencies to rise this year. The AMP cost figure for 2023 expects a critical expansion in the year's final part, conceivably coming to $0.007505. Similarly, as with other digital forms of money, the ascent will be steady, However, no extensive drops are normal. Averaging $0.007005 in cost is very aggressive, yet it is attainable sooner rather than later given expected joint efforts and progressions. AMP is supposed to have a base worth of $0.006004. AMP value expectation 2024 of every 2024. AMP cost expectation has a lot of space for development. Because of the expected declarations of various new organizations and drives, we guess that the cost of AMP will before long outperform $0.012508. In any case, we ought to hold on to check whether the AMP's general strength record emerges from the oversold zone prior to putting down any bullish wagers. Taking into account the market unpredictability, AMP will exchange with a base exchanging cost of $0.010007 and a typical exchanging cost of $0.011007. AMP value forecast 2025. On the off chance that the vertical pattern go on until 2025, it could reach $0.017512 and AMP might benefit. On the off chance that the market encounters a decay, the objective may not be met. AMP is supposed to exchange at a typical cost of $0.016011 and a low of $0.015010 in 2025. AMP value expectation 2026. Assuming AMP effectively supports market feeling among digital money fans, the AMP coin cost could stay stable for the following 5 years. As per our projections, AMP will be green in 2026. The AMP is supposed to reach and outperform its unsurpassed high in 2026. In 2026, the virtual cash will be valued at $0.022515 with a base cost of $0.020013 and a typical cost of $0.021014. AMP value expectation 2027. After some broad gauging and specialized examination, we gauge the AMP cost is supposed to cross a normal value level of $0.026017 by 2027. With a base cost of $0.025017 anticipated before the year's end. Moreover, AMP has a most extreme value worth of $0.027518. AMP value expectation 2028. Because representing things to come organizations that are supposed to occur by 2028, we are expecting that a bullish pattern will keep carrying the typical cost to around $0.031021. On the off chance that AMP figures out how to break the safe level in 2028, we could see a greatest cost of $0.032522. Neglecting to assemble the help AMP needs by 2028 could bring about a low of $0.030020. AMP value forecast 2029. While AMP is endeavoring towards interoperability between organizations to hurry connection, the bullish pattern from the earlier year is supposed to proceed. So the base exchange cost has been put at $0.035023 and a yearly cost close above $0.037525.